Hey everyone, it's International Coaching Week 2021, and I thought I'd go over some foundational coaching skills to help coaches and clients celebrate coaching this week. So, one of my favorite foundational coaching skill sets is setting an effective agenda. That's right, agenda setting is simple, yet it can also be a little bit perplexing for coaches. When you set an effective agenda, it really makes the session run smoother, more effective, and it really allows the session to flow better. So, in order to set an effective agenda, there's really three types of agendas. And for some of you, this may be a refresher. For some of you, this may be a new concept, but it's foundational. So I always believe that we want to have a beginner's mindset, even when we review foundational skills, even if you've been coaching for years and years and years, like I have. Even when I review these foundational skills, it really helps me become a better coach. So there's three types of agendas. The first agenda is the presenting agenda. The presenting agenda is really getting clear with the client what he or she or they want to focus on in that session, right? What specific result or outcome do they want by the end of the session? That's called a presenting agenda or a session agenda. And the more specific it is, the more effective the session is. For example, is it specific and measurable? You can how will you know that by the end of the session we've achieved what you want? Like, what specifically do you want out of this session? So usually the presenting agenda has to do with a specific goal they're working on, or an action step by the end of the session that they want to move towards closer to their goal. And it's really usually about doing, right? Something they want to do better, or something they really want some clarity or focus on. And they want to have more of that clarity and focus or more action by the end of the session. So that's the presenting agenda or the session agenda. So that's important to always have a clear session agenda for every session. Like, this is what we're doing today, and how will we know by the end of the session we've achieved that? Or what specific result do you want by the end of the session? Then there's something called the deeper agenda. The deeper agenda is very important because that is getting clear on what the client needs to address in themselves in order to move forward, in order to address whatever the presenting agenda is. There's always going to be some sort of underlying issue or a change that the client needs to make in themselves. So getting clear on the deeper agenda, I usually ask questions like, what is the biggest change you need to make in yourself in order to move the ball forward? Or what is it that we really need to address? Or what is it that you really need to address in order to move this forward? Or who do you need to be in order to achieve the agenda today? Or what do you need to work on in yourself in order to achieve the agenda? So do you see that? So there's always the presenting agenda, and then there's that deeper agenda, right? So both of those agendas need to be pretty clear in order to really have a really effective, productive session. And then there's something called the the bigger agenda. The bigger agenda is really, once you get clear on what the session agenda is, and the deeper agenda, the bigger agenda is, why does this even matter in your life? Or how will achieving these agendas make your life better? Or why is this important to you? How will this, what's the benefit to your life? So for example, a session agenda may be, by the end of this session, I really want to just have some action steps in working towards that presentation that I need to present next week. All right, so that's a clear session agenda. By the end of the session, I want to have some action steps towards that big presentation I'm making next week. The deeper agenda would be, I really need to change my perspective in my role in this company. I want to feel more empowered and not like the lowest man on the totem pole. That's what I want to work on in myself. That's the change I need to work on myself, is to feel empowered in my position and not feel like the lowest man on the totem pole. In fact, I want to feel like an equal partner, that I have an equal place at the table. And so that's the presenting agenda, and then that's the deeper agenda. And the bigger agenda would be, wow, well, if I'm able to have some clear action steps by the end of this session regarding my presentation next week, and I do have a way to change my perspective, that I'm no longer the lowest man on the totem pole, and I feel really empowered in my position, and that I have an equal place at the table, what would be the benefit to my life? How will that make my life better? I think it would give me more confidence. I think I would probably take more initiative and just be more proactive at work, and probably in my other areas of my life too, to really step into my power and know my place. That my place is actually a lot higher than I think, and that I need to give myself more credit. That's how it's going to benefit all areas of my life, to feel more empowered and confident, be more proactive, and speak my voice more. So hopefully that helps everyone today, getting clear on those different types of agendas for the session. So definitely getting a specific and clear session agenda, and then really get clear on that deeper agenda as well, what needs to change in me, and then the bigger agenda is, why does this even matter? So if you're watching this, I'd love to hear from you. If you've ever received coaching, how's it been beneficial for you when you receive coaching when there's a clear agenda? And if you're a coach watching this, how effective or is it for you as a coach when you set a clear agenda with a client? And what may be some challenges you have in setting the agenda? What challenges do you have? So let me know what those challenges you have setting the agenda. Let me know your thoughts on setting a clear agenda. Do you love it? Do you hate it? And I do want to say that the agenda setting that I teach, it goes by the ICF, definitions of what coaching is and what coaching isn't, and what agenda setting is. So me personally, I really do like the core competencies set forth by the ICF, the International Coaching Federation, because it really does give me some high standards and guidelines to follow coaching in order to really get the most out of the session and the most out of my client. So, all right, so let me know your thoughts on agenda setting, and I'll talk to you soon. Happy International Coaching Week.